Firefall Live. I'm Matt, aka Phobos, and joined as always by Frank Faded Fez and the Cheese Tony
Sup?
Ray.
That's right.
We have lower thirds.
We do have lower thirds. We're back again for a week. Every week we get together, they talk about what's happening at Red 5, what's happening in the community, and do a little bit of discussions and showcase some of your Firefall artwork. We've got a great show because we've actually brought on Adam Kupratis, FXNerd, one of our resident FX artists, will be joining us a little bit later. But for right now, let's go ahead and jump into the news. So right now we're still working on some things that will be coming out soon. Patches are being worked on. We've got some big announcements. A big thing is the open beta weekend that's happening right now. The servers just went live, right now.
Boom.
Hopefully everything's working. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a
We
nice,
have no idea. It might just.
we could be getting text
completely
messages right now saying like, "Oh my God, everything's broken," but we don't know. So that's happening right now. Anybody that logs in over the course of the weekend will get access to a cool decal for their battle frame. I think this one's a Target thing that looks pretty cool. So just log in and you'll get access to that after the weekend's over. We also have a screenshot and video contest associated with that. So take some awesome screenshots of any kind of skill-based maneuver, whether that be mid-air shots or headshots or taking care of people with an ability or doing an awesome crater and taking out 3 people.
Apparently there's some
handler.
apparently there's some pretty sweet quick sniping going on already. Some pretty awesome skill shots.
So
Nice.
already being replied to. So go to YouTube and check that out.
Awesome.
Great. So the screenshots, feel free to post those on the forums. There's a thread dedicated for the screenshots. The video should be a video reply to the contest video. The videos actually will be chosen for an awesome prize. You'll get a nice Firefall swag bag, including the Blarnodon plushie and all the stuff that we've got with that.
Packed by
I
yours
want one.
truly. I'll be packing all of the swag bags. Yay.
All 2 of them.
Oh,
Wow.
there are only 2 for this one?
The video's only 2.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right.
So-
now, I won't
Slow
complain.
down.
We'll pick those. So be sure to make sure that they have the reply. They should only be 90 seconds, so keep them short, guys.
Yep.
And don't use any copyrighted music because that'll disqualify you. For full rules, check out the firefall.thegame.com/beta weekends. There's more information about the beta weekend and the rules for the contest. The screenshots, we'll pick some of the best shots we can find and post them up on our Facebook page to share with everybody else.
Yep.
So make sure you pick some really awesome shots, guys. Beyond that, part of the beta weekend is also in a couple hours, 2 hours from now. We will be joining Athene and Reese on a live stream to play the game and talk to those guys and play the game with them. So we'll be kind of simulcasting on our channel and on Athene's owned 3D.TV channel. So
That's exciting.
check out both of those because if you want to watch Athene play, watch that channel. If you want to watch me suck it up, go ahead and watch our channel. We'll see who's going to do the best.
Or worst.
Or worse. So that's at noon PST, 9 p.m. Central European time.
Yep.
So
That's right.
thank you for doing that conversion for me right there.
Thank you, Reese.
That's pretty much it for the Red 5 news for this weekend. What's going on community-wise?
So community-wise, we have, if you're familiar with if you've been in the beta general discussion for a while, you'll notice that Kreis and others have been working together to put together a crafting database for everyone.
Yeah.
So now they launched a site, rarforfirefall.com.
That's like RAWR. RAR.
Rar. Yes. Rar.
We're giving you guys
Yes.
the memes. Come on. Pick it up, guys.
Yeah, we need
Wow.
to pick up the meme thread. What's the deal?
Anyways.
Anyways.
RARforfirefall.com.
It's really cool. I mean, because you have a nanoprint database, and they also have stuff they recommend certain materials for certain nanoprints and stuff like that
Yeah,
for
it's great.
best output. So.
It's a great site. I actually learned a few things that I need to recraft some of my weapons and stuff. But
Yeah.
check it out. They did a great job compiling all the information.
It's amazing. This is the kind of stuff we're definitely looking for.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks ago, we also showed an image that Bronodon.com teased. As of yesterday, they launched their new site, and now it's got all kinds of new stuff. So they show off our streamers, so T2, Meta, and them, and Famine.
Yeah.
They also have show off they have our cast on there, so our VODs, 8-Bit Tavern, and all those guys. They also do they have an army database, so you can put
great.
your army up there.
Looks good.
And also they have add-ons. So Hanachi also worked on setting up the add-on section of that site. So
That's great. It's a beautiful looking site. Nice job to everybody.
It's amazing.
It's looking great. Can't wait to see more and more content on there. They're doing great. So check it out, Bronodon.com.
Continuing along the site path. So everyone knows Scarth has been organizing Baneclaw runs
Yeah.
recently. So now, thanks to Scarth, Youngblood, and the other Vex guys, they put together a community site, basically. What is it here? Banebusters.com, where you can,
I like that. That's a good
can
name.
now, it's cool, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
now you can, like, if you want to go do Baneclaw, you just go register on the site, and then they'll help you put together the team and
That's
like
really
all
cool.
that stuff. So
Yeah.
it's really cool, like just to get everyone together to.
That's a good idea.
Because it requires a lot of coordination to do Baneclaw.
Yes.
So having that site together where you can come together and really form those teams for 25 plus people is great. So nice job, Scarth. Banebusters.com. Check that out. It's really good.
Yeah, and they're not going to limit it to just Baneclaws, so the future bosses too.
Yeah.
That we,
Of course.
Who you gonna
course.
call? Bane Buster. You know?
so, no, I don't know.
You know?
No, I don't know.
All right.
Nice. I like that. That was good.
We also have a new German streamer that popped up, Rickzon. So that's de.twitch.tv/Rickzon. He's going to be streaming all weekend,
Awesome.
basically.
Awesome.
He's going to be streaming Firefall in Deutsch. I think it's his stream is right now entitled Z German Efficiency. It's
Nice.
pretty sweet.
So it's all in German?
Yeah, I believe it's all in German, but that's for our German-speaking community.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Is it Jim?
The Germans.
If you guys do have multi-language streams that you guys are doing, let us know, and we'll make sure to share them around and try to make sure people get to see them. Das ist super, yes.
Yes. So moving on, we have 8-Bit Tavern has made their announcement last week. So we said last week that they have a big announcement. Well, they made their announcement. We have the 8-Bit Tavern Smash and Bash.
Smash and bash.
Which I love the fact that they made this in paint
Yes.
by hand in order to design the
He made
logo.
this in paint.
Yeah. MS
Wow.
Paint.
You should have submit that for Do You Even Art Pro.
That I don't
I
even
would
wanna
have
think
voted
about
for
how
it.
long that takes.
Anyway,
So
so it's
what
going
is
to be
Smash and Bash?
it's a Scanhammer and abilities tournament only. Some abilities are banned, like ammo overrides and turrets and stuff like that, but you can still use like Shockwave and Crater and those kind of things. For a full list, you can check the thread for a list of banned abilities. What else we got here? It's going to be shoutcasted by Sambasti and Nero,
Yeah.
and it's going to be happening February 23rd to 24th at 1 p.m. Eastern.
So that's basically a month from now.
Yeah, just
A month
about.
from now. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's tier 1 only, and if you don't follow the rules, from what I understand, Kugelane fashioned an actual scan hammer, and he will smash you over the head with it. So,
Real life.
real
So
life scan hammer.
If you do end up using that, be sure to
Date
film
changed?
it.
Did it change again?
Oh, date change.
'Cause it was
8-Bit
originally the
Tavern, same
16th.
Date changed.
What's going on? What
Give
are
us
we
the new
doing?
date, 8-Bit.
Well, we'll get the new date in just a second.
I'll post it on the blog. I'll post the new date on the blog. Just help me out with that one. And then we'll cap off the news with the finals of the Vex Gaming Tournament.
Ooh.
We finally had that.
You skipped over the wiki.
Did I skip over the wiki?
Yeah, because those guys are looking for some help.
Oh yeah, I moved the wiki.
Now it's
That's why.
March 15th to the 16th.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay.
Really
Not till
pushing it
March?
back.
I
Okay.
think I'm out of town that weekend. I really want to play. I really think I'm out of town March 15th. Dang.
Okay. Well,
Come on,
March
bro.
15th to the 16th for 8-Bit Tavern, Smash and Bash.
Yep.
But back to the wiki. The wiki's been run by Taywin and Mike and Nick for a while now.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of work on the wiki.
So they need more and more help. So the more help you guys can do to add the wiki. I mean, a whole point of a wiki is that the community gets together and starts adding information. So be sure to get on there, add some more information. And I have a deal for you guys. If you have some information that you're just missing certain details or certain facts, go ahead and make a what do they call it, a stub article. Show me the stub article, and I'll fill in the details for you.
No, he
so
won't.
I'll find out
He'll get us to
information
fill in the
and
details for him.
Well, I'll delegate filling in the details.
Great.
I don't actually do any work. I delegate. It's what a manager does. I'm an excellent delegator.
One of my old bosses once told me the difference between delegation and a dictator is a delegator follows up.
Yeah.
A dictator just tells you to do stuff and just keeps going.
There's a sexual joke in there somewhere.
So you follow up. So it's okay. You're good. It's a thin line, but you follow up.
Anyways, be sure to check out the wiki. That's firefall-wiki.com. We'd love to see you guys fill out that information because that really helps all new players as well. So please, please, please help us out by filling out the wiki.
Yep.
Really appreciate it. Anyways,
So-
back to Vex Gaming.
Now to the Vex Gaming tournament. So we did in fact find out that Dark Hour did have to play Vex Gaming in order to advance to figure out who advances to the finals. So Dark Hour played Vex Gaming, and I was rooting on T2. Sorry, Vex. Ever since T2's like long stream,
His little dance party.
his dance party.
He offered to play Miley if we wanted to dance.
Really? Let's throw it down. I've got some moves that I've been saving up for a long time.
So
That's right. I'm gonna rock your world.
No, please
Oh,
don't
God.
make Tony dance.
nope. So Dark Hour did they did defeat Vex Gaming to move on to face Hubris. They did pretty well against Hubris, at least in Shantytown.
Well, Zweihandler got an awesome. What I love is that he just dominated with Crater.
That
And
triple crater.
people kept saying Crater sucks. Crater, nobody uses Crater. Blah blah blah. And then Zweihandler right away, first match, bam, 3
Triple
people
kill.
dead. Awesome.
Triple kill. And
They didn't win, but still awesome. Awesome
no,
stuff.
and I agree with what some people were saying during the stream was that like it's kind of a gimmick.
Yeah.
Like because like
It's
no
still
one's like really expecting
It's
it.
so satisfying when you get those kills.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
It might not be the most efficient ability in the world,
Right.
but damn if it's not fun.
So yeah, I mean, I pretty much attribute it to Hubris not expecting creative tactics, but that's why you play, right? You have to
Not
expect
expecting the
everything.
Crater. Nobody expects the Crater.
We actually need a Monty Python like Firefall skip for that, where no one expects the crater.
No faction. I'm not saying that we can't make Crater better. I'm just saying that Crater is a lot of fun. It's just not the most efficient. Calm down.
Calm down. But Hubris did defeat Dark Hour in
As most of us
Obvious,
expected,
yeah.
Hubris, excellent team. Some of the best players in the game right now.
Yep.
Because people like Nerds Dispersion are too wimpy to actually go compete with anybody. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm calling you out. Projectile, Tailspin, ZP,
Well,
Mabel.
I'm
I'll
not
call you
gonna
by
call out-
name, bitches.
I'm not calling
What's
out
up?
Tailspin. I'll call out Projectile and Mabel punking out.
Yeah. Anyways,
Man,
step up, guys.
you
Step
heard
up.
it.
Anyways,
So
it was a great tournament. Thank you very much for Vex Gaming for putting that on.
Yeah.
Anybody else running tournaments, please let us know so that we can pass it along. I know there's some talk right now about doing some kind of league or ladder. It's called the Mustang League or something
Yeah.
like that. That's going on talks or going on the
Yeah, that's
forums.
right.
Be sure to jump on the forums and give any ideas, suggestions, etc. for that. It's community run. Everything's done by them, but might help get some more competition going. So be sure to check that out. Mustang League, I think is what they're trying to call it.
Yep.
So,
it's pretty sweet.
so I think that does it for the news for this week. Again, big news is that we're in like a public beta weekend. Everybody that registers for the game right now can play. So if
Yeah.
you're watching this stream and you haven't played the game yet and you don't know how, go to firefallthegame.com, register. You can download the game immediately after that and start playing. So for the weekend, all the way until Sunday night at like midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
enjoy, have fun. Please sure to give us feedback and things like that. So they're really loving your live stream yesterday.
Oh yeah. So I was testing stuff for.
This is not my fault.
This is not your fault. This is just like
For once.
I was testing stuff for Athene's stream later on, and I basically messaged Tony. I'm like, hey, I want to test some streaming stuff, and I thought I had the other one that we test on in there. And I'm just sitting there streaming. All of a sudden, Tony's like, "I hear an echo." I'm like, "Do you have the stream
yeah,
open?"
what's going on? And
I'm like, "Do you have my stream open?" He's like, "No, I have the Red 5 Studios one." I'm
Oh,
like,
Gabriel thinks I'm such a sexy beast. Oh, hello. And I'm like going to tweet him and stuff. I'm saying stupid things.
My bad. It went on for like 2 minutes, and I'm like, "Oh, hey guys, peace," and then just like hit the button. Like,
Bravo, gentlemen.
Oh, it's really
Bravo.
funny.
with
Yeah.
we are professionals to the T.
A couple other call outs because these are coming up. 8-Bit Tavern does Friday Night Firefall every Friday, so be sure to check them out on Twitch TV/8-Bit Tavern. We also have our own community Twitch channel that's twitch.tv/team/Firefall.
Yep.
A bunch of the Firefall streamers are up there. Superior, T2, Dark Bike, Meta, a bunch of other people. So be sure to check that out because you can see who's streaming at what time, and you don't have to go to each page separately. So that's twitch.tv/team/Firefall. If you'd like to be added to that, go ahead and send me an email, community@red5studios.com. We'll get you added into that so you can be in part of the rotation.
Yep.
But be sure to check that out. And I think right now we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll have Adam Kupratis, a.k.a. FXNerd, on the program to talk to you
yeah.
guys. So we'll be right back.
Welcome to the third installment of our Firefall discussion. When we were discussing the possibility of doing this series, we told the folks at Red 5 that we would only agree to do it if we could talk openly about the game, the good and the bad. And to their credit, they encouraged it. They told us they wanted their community to understand not just the cool stuff they're working on, but also the major challenges they're struggling with as they develop this game. So today, we're going to talk about what might be the biggest selling point for Firefall, but what is also clearly its greatest danger. With Firefall, Red 5 has opted to go with real shooter-first gameplay. Some of you may remember some of the hybrid shooter MMORPGs that have come out before. Games like Tabula Rasa, where, while what you were aiming at sort of mattered, combat was really driven by an underlying set of RPG math. So no matter how good a shooter player you were, it wasn't really going to affect how well you did. Well, those systems never work. They just don't. I don't generally like to make broad, definitive claims like that, but it's almost impossible to make this type of game feel right. If you have a perfect, beautiful headshot lined up, you fire, and you see the little word, miss, pop up over a monster's head, it just feels wrong. It's immensely dissatisfying, and it only serves to completely break whatever immersion the game had managed to establish. So a new system has to be found. The standard answer to this problem, the answer that the Old Republic and many other modern MMOs that use a substantial amount of ranged combat leapt to, was simply to port the purely numerical WoW system to gunplay. While the system may not be satisfying for shooter players, it is a highly functional system. It allows systems designers a lot of levers to balance play, and it constrains combat enough to allow encounter designers to build tight, finely honed, and highly predictable encounters. The answer that Red 5 came to for Firefall, however, was to build true shooter gameplay, to have headshots be headshots, to have combat be fast and frenetic, to let the numbers take a backseat to the shooting in every way. And while that sounds great at first, there's a lot of dangers buried in that system. You see, nobody's really tried a massive open-world shooter before. There's lots of things that come up in an MMO environment that just don't come up in your typical FPS. The first question is, can you manage enough variety of weapons for a much longer-term game than your typical FPS, and still keep the guns feeling good? And on this count, so far the weapons feel great, better than a lot of shooters we've played, actually. But we're not even through the beta yet. What happens 6, 8, 12 months down the line? What happens 4 expansions in? But more than that, there's a very distinct reason that no one has tried a massive open-world shooter before. With the multitude of first-person shooters coming to the market today, it's not that no one's thought to bring that to the MMO format before. In fact, you can find a number of massive FPSs that have all the persistence we expect from an MMO. But they tend to be PvP-focused and limit everything to instanced arenas, rather than a truly vast open world where the player can travel between any 2 points. And there's a reason for this. First, interesting FPS AI is hard to build, even in a single-player environment. The difficulty of creating interesting shooter encounters is one of the reasons that you see so many single-player shooters today, limiting the player to very linear paths between set-piece firefights, where the designer knows exactly where the player will enter and where they'll be looking. Putting things in an open world shatters those designer advantages. And on top of that, then you have to figure out how to keep your AI and your encounters engaging, despite the possibility of an uncertain number of players using who knows how many different classes and builds. That is a monumental task, and no matter how much work the people at Red 5 put in, I'm not sure the fights will be able to compete with what most players have come to expect from modern single-player FPSs. I just don't think it's doable. Now, hopefully, they'll be able to find some other solution that involves more strategic or more skillful play than you find in your run-of-the-mill corridor shooter these days. And they'll get some mileage out of players getting to choose what challenges they want to tackle, and thus being able to push the limits of what they can do. I'm just not sure how far that goes. They've also got the question of difficulty curve. In an open world environment, how do you make PvE have the right challenge for most of your players, especially at endgame? Say you're a top-notch shooter player. Early on in the game, if things are feeling too easy for you, you can still find an appropriate level of challenge by simply fighting things above your level. But what do you do at endgame? This is actually a problem that many MMOs have, but it's rarely been solved well, and the few cases where it was handled with grace were never in a first-person shooter environment. Lastly, and perhaps most worrisome to me, is the question of exploiting. There's a very odd behavior common amongst MMO players. You'll find that they tend to play in a way that they think is the most efficient, not the most fun. If players think they can get an edge or take advantage of the system by doing something really boring, they'll do it, for hours at a time. It's actually a huge problem in MMO design in general, and unfortunately, it's often reinforced, if not relied upon by poor MMO designers. If you ever had to do a grind quest in an MMO that had you fighting anything but the most interesting monsters you could possibly fight at your level, you've experienced both poor MMO design and the almost irresistible urge to play in the most efficient way possible, rather than the most engaging way possible. Now, building balanced, unexploitable encounters in standard melee-based MMOs is no easy task. But in an environment with range, where combat's much more mobile, I'm not even sure it's possible. Now, they've got some great designers working on the team, like Scott Youngblood, guy who created Tribes. But even with the best designers, you can only solve soluble problems, and I just don't know how you tackle this one in a practical development environment. Remember that in Firefall, you're going to have a jetpack, so you're going to be able to bounce all over the place. The first time someone forgets to perfectly smooth all their geometry, and there's one single triangle sticking out from a cliff face that a player can stand on to shoot enemies without them reaching you or shooting back, all the visceral, exciting combat they've built sort of breaks down. Now, does this mean that Red 5 shouldn't have done this? Not at all. In fact, shooter-first play is probably the only way a smaller company can set themselves apart from the giants like World of Warcraft, and if they can pull it off, it's a risk worth taking. I mean, if they succeed, they'll have brought a whole new genre into the realm of big world MMOs, but man, what a risk. So this is us wishing all of them the best of luck. It makes us nervous. A true shooter MMO is a game we'd love to play, but there's a lot of problems to be solved if we're ever gonna see one. Godspeed, team. Catch you next time.
Welcome back to Firefall Live. We are joined now by FXNerd, aka Adam Kupratis, one of our FX artists. How's it going, Adam?
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, yay me.
On a scale of 1 to FXNerd, how hipster are you feeling right now?
Definitely more than 7. A lot
They're
more
only
than
rating
7.
you as a 7.
That hurt.
That's what they're guessing right now.
That really hurt.
Maybe if you put on the big thick rim glasses.
You know, I kept them off, the glare. I wanted to see pretty, you know.
Yeah. I mean, how tight are your pants right now? That's the.
These are pretty well.
They're a little
I got
loose.
breathing
They're
room.
looser than other pants we've seen you wear. So.
You've seen me wear flower pants.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
So on a scale, I'd probably put you.
I might be at a 9 right now.
Yeah. Short. Anyways, Adam is one of our resident hipsters, but also one of our great FX artists. So tell me, Adam, how did you get into creating effects for games?
Well, you know, high school, senior year, you're left with that choice of what do you do with the rest of your life, and I don't think any high schooler should ever be given that choice. But I was
We're not
really
exactly at the stage of our lives where we can make it intelligent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not there, but I was really good at playing video games and art and language arts, and I was terrible at math. I set things on fire a lot, and I was like, do I go to law school or learn how to make video games? So
that's a interesting balance there.
Yeah,
I'm a pyromaniac. Do I go to law school or do I
yeah,
go do
so
art?
I mean, I know a lot of lawyers that do that, but I just wouldn't fit in. So I enrolled at the Art Institute, Orange County, into their game design program, and really discovered a passion for blowing things up that I kind of knew already existed.
Virtually.
Right.
Yeah, of course, definitely, yeah, sure.
right.
I mean, that was a long time ago, so I won't bring that one up. But there I discovered that I could really enjoy making magic and just the cool parts of what I thought video games were. Muzzle flashes, explosions, blood coming out of people's faces and stuff like that, digitally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So how exactly is it for people that don't understand particle effects and how FX art works, how do you make a particle effect in the game? And
It's a big question. Yeah. You know.
I was just thinking, like, I don't even know how
I mean,
really
I could do
you
a better
I see
job
you using the tool and you.
Yeah, I could do a better job answering like the meaning of life, but you know, essentially we look at a lot of elements and we play a lot of games. We play a lot of different shooters and MMOs to see what they do. If you were doing like a healing effect, we have to understand color, what the player is going to see, and you start with essentially particles are quads or squares that are floating around, and we control the size and animation and color and texture, and there's a lot of cool stuff. Our tech artist, Mark McCall, creates a lot of amazing tools for us to use. Our programmer, Lutz, always yells at me when I kill the frame rate. But
Germany just yells in general.
he just yells, 9-9.
I don't think he's ever yelled 9-9.
No, he doesn't. He's amazing, though. So, and then the other effects artist, Seth, he and I work closely in throwing back ideas on how does the LGV look when it does this. So there's a lot of, it's very organic. Working at Red 5 allows effects artists to flow and to be creative. And I mean, if you're on the forums, we read. Seth and I are active on that, checking out opinions and ideas. Sometimes we just ignore opinions, most of the time, but we listen to the good ones.
I'm gonna get so much shit for that. Thanks, Adam. Thanks. He doesn't ignore opinions, trust me.
No, I have to read them, but I enjoy the compliments.
So when you started at Red 5, like, well, first, how did you get into Red 5?
I knew a world builder, and I was looking for work, and he put my awesome business card on the desk of
What
Adam
was
McMahon.
awesome about your business?
It was see-through,
Whoa.
right? I spent too much money on like my advertising and not enough money on like my
You're like,
education.
look, I understand
but
alpha.
yeah, look at that. So it stood out, and Adam McMahon called me in to the art lead. He called me in to have an interview, and you know, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I'm easy on the eyes, and you know, Red 5, I think.
Are you
really,
saying something about yourself or Adam McMahon? No.
I'm easy on the eye. You know,
But-
Adam saw a lot in me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I was dressed to the T, and I think Red 5 really wanted a hipster.
We were lacking hipsters. at
You
that
were
point.
lacking
Now we're a
hipster.
little over quota, but we were lacking
Yeah,
some
we
hipsters.
You know, yeah. I mean, too much rum, not enough whiskey.
Yeah.
You know, that was that kind of thing. So I'm bringing the whiskey to your rum.
That's right.
So
Okay.
there we go.
And so you started, how long ago now?
About a little over 2 years.
Yep. And so we were at Small Tech Space at that point.
Yes.
Kind of a small what is it? Some space before we had our official location.
Yeah.
We were just renting a space because we were small at that time. I think we were, how many people? 30?
We were in the
40?
40s.
Yeah.
I know it was in the 40s higher.
Yeah.
And it was only effects artists.
Well, I mean, at that time we had lost our previous effects artist. And at that time we were doing hand animated
Yeah.
effects.
And that was a direction that was previous. And then Adam and the other artists really wanted to push the amazing realness of some of the effects and go in that direction. So yeah, we're not doing the hand animated stuff anymore, and that would have taken a really long time for one effects artist to do hand animating. Although I love that style, that adds a lot of quality, and I still utilize that in a lot of elements. But now it's more of clever texture usage, implementing proper procedural textures and stuff like that, and animating the effects and trails and ribbons and performance. I mean, a lot of people complain about performance in effects and what's called particle soup. And that's always a struggle because of how many variables are in our game. You know, we're not just a game that's on rails. This game has practically everything. You have LGVs and boss monsters and jetpacks and PvP, and the effects have to work in all instances. And you have elements like the Bang Claw, where everybody's shooting at a single target. And things go crazy. I mean, it can look pretty nuts. So we have to work really hard with programming and art to make sure that the frame rate does stay strong.
Yeah.
And that's always, an uphill battle, but when there are successes, they come out with flying colors.
So you talk about particle soup and things like that. So what are the kind of, it sounds like it's a mixture of not only you having to worry about that, but designers and programmers and everyone to try to figure out how to handle that situation. But how do you approach that situation when you look at something and people are like, there are way too many particle effects on the screen? How do you approach it? What do you guys talk about?
Well, number one is repro. Being able to reproduce those elements and isolating what are causing the major hits.
Yeah.
There are elements like overdraw.
Yeah.
And overdraw is when larger particles are on the screen and you have multiples of those, alphaing in Z depth. I can get really nerdy talk right now, but we isolate those elements and try to prevent them from happening in these instances.
Yeah.
And we can control those by saying if there's 10 particles already in existence, don't make any more.
Yeah.
We have a lot higher limit than 10, but it's all about controlling the environment as much as we can, considering how many variables there are. I mean, it might be one player or it might be 50 players.
How do you balance not only the performance side of it, but the artistic side of it, right? You don't want to have too many particle effects because then you lose some of the atmosphere of the game because it's just constant particle effects.
Well, when you're getting to the point where there is what's called particle soup, the artistic side isn't really as relevant as it is the player just being able to understand what's going on.
Right.
So we always start art. We don't start understanding like, oh, it's going to be crazy. We just say, hey, this is an explosion for a satchel charge.
Right.
It's going to hurt you. It's got this much radius. And we just start making it look awesome.
Right.
And then from there, we'll scale back. We do performance updates. We have really amazing controls that the programmers put in for us so that we can say, hey, if you have your settings to quality 1, then you're not going to see these layers. So
what are your, let's say what's your favorite particle effect that you worked on, or effect suite if it's a multiple?
Fire is always really fun to make.
Yeah.
Burn jets. That was a challenge. Sometimes designers come up to me and they're like, so I got this idea, and I'm like, okay, let's hear it. Sometimes, though, I'm able to just, get my head down and bust something out,
Yeah.
and I'll be really proud of it. I get to play a lot with different ideas. A lot of it has to do with controlling texture and utilizing out-of-the-box thinking. So Thunderdome was always fun to make.
Yeah.
Anything that kills a player. I mean, we have the new Gibbs in.
You really like killing players, don't you?
Anything that explodes, or like you see blood and fingers flying everywhere, that's always really fun. So,
and people should understand that the effects are not just fire and weapons and things like that, but also like some of the holograms throughout the world.
Those are
I
all
know
effects,
You spent
yeah.
a lot of time on like the globe in TransHub.
Yeah.
To make some really cool things and some teasers for some stuff that
Yeah.
people don't even really understand. The pop out signs and all that, those kind of things, like that's all FX as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mixture of taking a concept art and then taking that as a texture. And
yeah, sometimes we don't even have concept art, and I'll just work on something really cool just to show off to the team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always really rewarding.
well, what was it? What movie? Prometheus. Right after Prometheus came out, you had that video showing all the effects of Prometheus, and then
How to make
you
our game
spent
look
the
like
next like
Yeah.
2 weeks working on.
Well, I mean, I always have I have a pet peeve with movie effects and holograms. I don't think that in the future, holograms and computer displays are gonna be see-through. Like, what sense does that make? Why would I? No, come on, Avatar. Like, you can see right through your screen, and it's monochromatic. It's like 2 colors. You get plasma screens with like millions of. Come on, 3 colors and you're see-through. That bothers me, but it looks cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing to do? What was the hardest effects or project that you were on?
Hardest, I mean, depends on what the designer's asking. To make it look the way they needed to, anything like burn jets was pretty difficult because of what was actually happening. A lot of people playing a game just see the effects, and that's all you're really seeing, and you can't turn off effects off because you won't see the projectile. Thunderdome was, a really simple effect to make. So that's the opposite. You create a sphere, make that look solid, and then it goes away.
Yeah.
Something like burn jets or the Tesla rifle. There's not a lot of grounding, so you
Yeah.
have to say like, okay, there's a beam that ends here, make it look cool.
Because everybody knows light beams
Yeah.
can end at a certain point.
It has to end somewhere. Light doesn't normally work that way, but we're gonna make it look cool. So.
So we've seen particle effects over time kind of go more simplistic. Like we had the old school shockwave with the awesome like ground
Yeah.
movement and lightning effects and things like that. Part of that change was because now you could do it in the air and other things, so you had to make changes to
Design
that.
changes.
But ultimately, what did it come down to for making some of those changes? Like why is shockwave currently just like a ball that flies through the air?
Well, we do, like I said, we read the forums, and we try to pay attention to what people are not understanding with the particle effects and what's the misgivings with the effects versus what's happening. So an example like shockwave is a good one, and we still are working on polishing that. The esports element of the game, you need clarity. You need to know, okay, that hit me, that's what did this damage. So having a large dusty wave of things isn't gonna really be effective to know that's what hit me, that's why I got killed and I lost, or that's how I killed that person. So we focus a lot on that clarity. So that's the change in direction there. Also the design.
Okay.
The design is no longer sticking to the ground. It's now going out in the air. And
So it doesn't make sense to follow terrain.
exactly.
anymore.
So why is it kicking up dust?
Right.
Also the limitations of certain engine capabilities. I mean, if that shockwave went through water, I would want it to shoot up water, but it might not understand that it's in water.
Just tell Lutz. He'll get it done.
He's got a lot to do, He's a
So if
busy
you could go
guy.
back and change anything that you've done, what would it be?
Everything. I mean, Adam McMahon always gets bummed out when I change anything that's already been there, like plasma cannon. It's approved. He tells me don't change it, and I've already made like 7 different versions, and I can't wait. It's like, well, eventually we're gonna have different plasma cannon or something like that I can use this on. So, I can't wait.
Well, I noticed you touched up healing ball too,
I've-
internally at least, and I
Yeah.
thought like the swirl looked a lot prettier.
Oh,
Like,
it's healing ball, healing dome, all those other abilities that are in the game.
wait, there's
I-
a healing dome.
Healing dome?
Healing dome. I don't know. Healing ball dome.
You're just making up abilities now. You're like, I just thought a healing dome would be awesome, so I made it.
There's
Now I just need to convince Justin to make it.
Or
Justin
Kevin.
and Kevin. I can convince Kevin. I know.
Kevin's. Well, so how did you, if somebody wanted to get into creating effects for games or working in the art department for a gaming company, what would you recommend?
Well, I can't speak so much for the art department, but for effects, there's a lot of really good tutorials out there that you can look up online and take classes on. The number one thing, if I were to ever look at someone's effects reel, is implementation in the game. So any type of, a game editor you can get into, create effects in the game. Don't just make them in a 3D software program, because anyone can do that, and those editors are, fully fleshed out for movies. Showing that you have really good use of texture creation, animation, just drawing effects. There's a lot of amazing books that show you how they did it in like Studio Ghibli films and Disney, how they do fire and animation, stuff like that. And that's a really fundamental knowledge base that you should have doing any sort of effects.
Okay. And then do you recommend going to an art institute or going to a class for it? Do you feel like that was beneficial to you, or that you could have done the same on your own, just spending more time with tools?
Well, everything in hindsight you can change. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the education I had.
Right.
However, I do believe that no matter what your situation is, whether it's financially or location, there's a way for you to figure out how to do it, because all of the tools are accessible online.
So you say demo reel is probably the biggest thing?
That is the
practice,
biggest thing.
Practice.
Yeah,
Demo.
and then after the demo reel, it becomes your experience, and a lot about just working as an effects artist or just being in a game studio is being able to communicate. Red 5 is an organic company that we listen to the forum posts and we talk to each other. Being able to take criticism, that's a big one.
Yeah, that is big. That's across the board with.
I got 4 sisters.
Yeah.
I was, battle hardened.
So much.
It does.
It does. Flower pants.
Great. Well, do you have anything you'd like to tell the community? Anyone you want to thank? Anybody you want to talk to?
Well, hi, Bazix.
Bazix did say you were his best friend.
Oh, that was really cute. And I'm a big fan of Jameson.
Awesome.
Not,
Hint,
not,
if
not
somebody
rum.
wants to send
Not rum.
alcohol, Jameson is his
Jameson's
favorite.
Not cracking.
Street. Yeah.
But anyways, okay. Well, thank you very much for
I'm
being
so
on.
stoked I got to do that.
Well, Zeno had his time. Now
He
it's
did.
your
His time is over. The celebrity is over.
turn. Celebrity. Nice. Well, thank you very much, Ada, for being on the show.
Thanks.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have Tony back on here. We'll do a discussion topic, and then we will do you even art, bro? Check out the latest stuff. So, be right back.
Big balls, 713, that's me. Building whole worlds and blasting enemies from my PC. My cash is stacked, my attributes maxed. I'm rolling in credits and gold like God mode. I'm a legend on the internet. Me and K-Dog 9 behind enemy lines. Capping campus, leaving jibs behind until K-Dog's getting called to the kitchen. We're in a massive open world war and you taking a break to go eat some chicken. I get back to my work and I'm working the land. I'm fashioning a shovel just as fast as I can. Cause if I don't dig this cave by dusk, I'll get molested by the Slender Man. You think this a game? Man, you don't understand. Gaming ain't no game. It's a dangerous world where you gotta do what you do to survive. Then you gotta watch who you trust with your life. Aliens, ninjas, and spiders, and Nazis, and trolls. Gaming ain't no game. It's a dangerous world. Go ahead and see just how long you survive. But remember, watch who you trust with your life. Not to mention the robots and face-eating dogs. I level up XP with K-Dog on a kill streak, but this lag is making me mad and I hate this team, cause I all cheat. Shadowcat squad, watch me blast these noobs to hell. K-Dog's got my back, he drops in all caps, LOL. I'm like a Hammurabi samurai, eye for an eye, old code, red hot, ice cold, headshots with no scope, but these fools be glitching. I see your health keep refreshing, bro. Spawn killing punk, yeah, call a medic, I cut your throat. It's hard work, but I stay focused on the task at hand. But now there's some clown coming down, jeopardizing my plans. I'm serious, you need to come upstairs and log off. Say Nazis, I'm making zombies, for God's sake. You want me to walk the dog? Gaming ain't no game. It's a dangerous world where you gotta do what you do to survive. And you gotta watch who you trust with your life. Evil snakes, Peyton Manning, and vampire bats. Gaming ain't no game, it's a dangerous world. Go ahead and see just how long you survive. But remember, watch who you trust with your landmines and mutants and Vikings and zombies and gangs. It all comes down to this, K-Dog. That fire-breathing slime pig just over the ridge. That's all that stands between us and the perfect campaign. Let's do this, my brother. But K-Dog doesn't say a thing. I look over and he's pointing my gun right at me. He says, don't bother checking your inventory or stat sheets. I cleared them all. I took everything. I check and my stomach drops. He says it was easy infiltrating your squad. And now the Shadow Cats will reap the rewards. They're raiding all your secret campsites in the forest as we speak. I scroll to my knife and I'd be careful what you do next. You and I both know this is a cowboy repeater, he says. It deals 90x corrosive flame elemental damage. No, don't do it, K-Dog. We can beat the slime pig together. I promise I'll never tell. Your time is up, he says.
Goodbye, Big Ball 713. I'll see you in hell.
And with that, there's a blast as I fall to the ground, and my health bottoms out, and the world's upside down. K-Dog, I trusted you. 8 months I fought at your side, and you took everything from me. How could you commit such a crime? If it's the last thing I ever do on this earth, I swear by the old gods and the new that I will find you, K-Dog 9. I will find you and visit horrors upon you, the likes of which mankind has never seen. And if you ever
get upstairs right now, understand me?
But all I was...
Now.
Jesus.
Gaming ain't no game, it's a dangerous world where you gotta do what you do to survive. And you gotta watch who you trust with your life. Dimensional tentacle, space demon brain. And ain't no game, it's a dangerous world. Go ahead and see just how long you survive. But remember, watch who you trust with your life. It's been working for Shadow Cat Squad all along. And ain't no game, and ain't no game.
Welcome back.
What was that?
I don't know. I just wanted to come back with something stupid.
You scared me. I was like, oh no.
Stop
no,
reading your phone.
What happened?
Put it down.
I'm
That's
pulling
low.
up the art.
Phone's supposed to be off.
I'm pulling up the art.
Oh my God, Marjorie's gonna kill us.
It's on airplane mode.
It's all over.
It's on airplane mode,
We're all gonna
Marjorie.
die.
Oh, we're
We're all
Marjorie,
gonna
put
die.
down the knife.
This-
Marjorie,
this may
put down
be-
the knife.
This may be the last Firefall live. Maybe. Maybe.
Jeez.
Oh my
Anyways,
God.
I wanted to answer a couple questions, like Narashu's question. This has come up a couple times. What happened to Hack Week? So we had planned to have a Hack Week at the end of the year last year, and a bunch of people had a lot of plans and some great things. Unfortunately, we got caught up, and there were some things that we had to get done in order to do that, so it got pushed. We want to have a Hack Week again at some point to actually have it. Like I shouldn't say again because we haven't had it, but we want to have a Hack Week, but it hasn't happened. So sorry, guys. I can't really tell you what was being worked on because nothing really got worked on for that Hack Week. We worked on bugs and issues that we were having with the game at the time in order to make sure that the stuff was stable.
I really wanted to work on that April Fool's thing. I was really bummed that I didn't get to work on that.
April
Yeah.
Fool's thing?
Yeah.
Well, we can't do it now because you just told them that you're working
No,
on
I didn't. I didn't tell him what it was.
But the point... never mind.
Anyways, a couple other questions that have come up, the PvE, PvP split. You know, the guys are still working out some of the details. They hit a snag and there's some questions about things. So they want to make sure to have all those. We don't want to come on here and say, this is how it's going to be, and then the very next week be like, oh, wait, no, that's not how it happened. Sorry. When we make the announcement, we really want to make sure that we understand everything that's going to happen so we can answer all your questions. Because I want that to be a very, very long conversation where you guys get a chance to ask every question you have and we can answer as best of our ability. So it's not happening just yet. We want to make sure that we have everything taken care of. So I apologize that we haven't announced that yet. It is being worked on. So it's not that it's just sitting there and nobody's working on it, but there are some questions that we still need to answer with implementation. So keep coming. Don't worry about that. We will make sure to have that out there as quickly as possible, whether it be on Firefall Live or a blog post or we do a special show. Don't know. It's as soon as we have all the details set, we'll try to get that information out there. Invasions back in the game. Those are currently not being worked on due to the fact that they're working on other pieces of the Chosen Warfront. They want to make sure that the Chosen Warfront is nice and stable and has some realism associated with it, where how they pick things, and it kind of leads up to the invasion. And then the invasion itself needs quite a bit of work to scale with number of players. So that's, it's in the game. Like, we could turn it on, but you guys would play it and you'd dominate it, and it wouldn't be that much fun. So rather than just release it just to say we have it, we want to make sure that when it goes back in, that it's nice and fun, and that Clancy and his team has a lot of time to really fine tune it and make sure it works. Mallory has some plans for it. There's some really great stuff. So our designers are still working on that, but it's part of the whole Chosen War front. And Clancy has posted, Dragon, for those of you who don't know who Clancy is, sorry. Dragon has posted on the forums for the kind of plans for the Chosen War front over the next couple months and the future. So be sure to check those out so you guys can see that. So discussion topics, though, some things that happen on the forums. There are a lot of different things happening in forums, and I know a lot of the conversation right now is about the PvP-PvE split. And I really wish we could dive into that, but we can't. There's a lot of complaints about balance. There's a lot of issues about that. All those are kind of being addressed this milestone that we're all working towards, and we really want to make sure that stuff happens. There's also a lot of things happening over the next few months. There's open beta weekends. We've got some server performance improvements. We've got a lot of kind of the back end work that we're working on. So there's a lot of things being worked on. But one of the things that I saw come up in the forums that is kind of an interesting discussion, because it was something that we've changed a long time ago, but haven't really polished or revisited in a while, which is the nighttime. So night in the open world and in PvP maps. How does that work? How do people enjoy it? And there's kind of a mixed feeling about it, right? We have people that want night to be even darker, right? To be like pitch black, it's dangerous, can't even turn a corner.
That's not how it is now?
No, you might want to turn up your gamma if they're having that many problems. We also have a lot of polish that people wanted to see. Like, there's been some really awesome paint overs that people did.
Yeah, those are pretty cool paint
Which,
overs.
Unfortunately, that's easy to do in Photoshop.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do with a real-time lighting system.
Well, I remember even after that, we were looking at that, like some of the concept artists along with Uri and Lutz were looking at that, and they were like, and then they were showing like Kung Fu Panda nights, like just like as like a comparison, like look how the night looks in that. Like, can we do this? Apparently, it's going to be very difficult.
That's the thing, is it's not always easy to do. It's something that we'd love to do, and so there's definitely more polish that needs to be worked on. We hired Matt Whipple, I don't know, 5 months ago?
Something like that.
About 5 months ago. He's our lighting artist, and he's been going through the world as quickly as possible. He's just one guy, and it's a lot of world to cover, a lot of little lights everywhere, right? So he's going through and polishing things and doing some work. You'll notice that there's been some really great changes in Copacabana and Trans-Hub,
the Trans-Hub
watchtowers.
I think he even did stuff at the research facility.
Yeah. So that's all being worked on to polish tonight. But the question comes is there something we can do to make night even better?
I'd like to see like night creatures.
Yes.
So nighttime would be like a completely different.
They're dormant during the day, they sleep, and then at night they're out and they're like vicious. Maybe they glow. Maybe they're like little things like,
So
the night has some life to it.
Yeah.
Because there's times where you're running through when you're running through like the mountain or whatever, and you can see like things like glowing in the air, and I like that. And it's like, what is that? But it doesn't really do anything.
Well, yeah, it's just particle effect.
Yeah, just like.
So do you feel like there needs to be some incentive to play at night? Like that they're the unique creatures?
Yeah,
that
maybe there's
resources.
Those creatures, part of those creatures are things that you can only get at night. So like, during night, I got to go get X because X isn't there during the day.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like,
I don't know.
So the counter argument to that would be that because other games have done that in the past. I mean, EverQuest had night missions.
Yeah.
DOC had night missions and things like that. Problem always was that I had to stand there and wait around for nighttime in order to do those things. So is that harmful to the player that only has a limited amount of time, but needs to complete such and such mission or get such and such item and can't do it?
Well, I don't know that it's so much of like a mission, more as like it's like a cool perk. Like, hey, it's like.
But if there's no reason to kill them,
I mean, because if you want to have people do it, I mean, you have to incentivize them. So you can't just be like, it's a cool perk. Then, like, there's like almost no reason for you to do that.
Yeah.
I think. If you want to tie in something like really cool, like really add something to night, but then Matt's argument is very valid, where it's like,
Well, I
like,
think
you know,
the Swizzler is bringing up a good point here in chat. Is that yes, that's a problem, but then an auction or a trade system would solve that issue.
well,
And granted that we're already talking fanciful, like, oh, we'll create creatures for the nighttime. So we're gonna say like, yes, we're feature complete. Like
okay,
this,
fine.
So I mean, we all
Fair
know
enough.
we want a trade system. We want some.
I'm
sort
wearing
of
socks. Thank you, Rachel.
Relax.
They're just
fashion-
high shoes.
The
They just-
fashion police are on Tony.
I don't wear. Yeah, what? Who wears socks up to here anymore? Come on.
I wear socks with those hooks that you then have a whole like garter system pulling them up. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd be interested to take a look at that later.
No, I'm wearing mini socks. Too.
Right.
Anyways, back to nighttime
Sorry.
rather than Tony's sweaty feet. Yeah, we can totally do things that are
It's gross.
related to trading systems and things
Yeah.
like that in order to get those features. We talk about night times right now, how long the night lasts. And I think right now, night's around 2 hours.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like according to the season.
Well, it is. I mean,
And,
so
like-
that's one thing people don't understand is that we are built on a 1/10 scale version of Earth. And based on the location, which is Brazil, Fortaleza, Brazil, that the seasons are going to be however long the seasons are currently
Yep.
in Fortaleza, Brazil right now. So how the difference between day and night will change as it becomes summer down there versus winter,
Yep.
which it is right now. So night times are actually longer right now than they would be in a few months because they're getting shorter all the time.
I didn't know that we did that.
So-
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
pretty cool.
It's pretty crazy actually,
Yeah.
and the position of the moon and the what phase of the moon it's in
Really?
is dependent on
Oh, yeah.
the phases.
that is
that are
so
in.
right?
cool to
It's-
find out
that's
new
so
things
Lutz.
like that.
That's so Lutz. That's what Lutz does.
That's really
And Mark
cool,
likes
though.
to say that the constellations are real, but they're not.
They're not.
That's just artist.
You
Ano-
could have lied to me.
Another
I would've
thing,
believed
You would have been like, "There's the Big Dipper."
I'm going to pull out my constellation map. Liars! Someone would.
Someone would.
Someone, yeah.
Someone would.
Well, people already have, but another thing that I know Whipple was talking about in terms of night was maybe like making the like dawn and dusk longer, like potentially doing that so that it's like you don't have
So
like
the
the
ultimate
pitch
darkness
black all the time.
is less than
Right. So it's like you're phasing into like the evening sunsets in the morning.
The other thing you could do is actually make it so that it's darkest right before the switch. So like as dusk is happening,
Yeah.
right when the sun sets and the moon is just coming out, that's the darkest point, and it gets brighter through night and then gets darker leading back towards sunrise. So that it's actually, but it's not as bright as day, obviously. But,
Right.
But like your eyes are getting adjusted, or
Yeah.
the moon's finally lighting things up, or that's the other thing is actually with the phase of the moon, it's darker or lighter depending on whether it's a full moon or
Yeah.
sliver.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So all those things are in the game. But back to the discussion, I mean, really the idea is rather than just making things darker or lighter, what could we do to incentivize playing at night or having fun at night or make nighttime more fun to play in? We've talked about night vision scopes.
Yep.
Now, is that something that everybody gets? Is that something that you have to unlock? Is that something that
$5.
you pay red beans for? Is that something that only recons get? Like, what's the question? The question is, how does that work? So, what can we do to make that even better?
I think we probably do need to help out recons in that area with their scopes, and then maybe like add the option for other people.
Yeah.
But in terms of like when they're scoped in, you really can't see anything. So we really do need. I think we should do something to help them out at night.
We've seen some. I mean, Mikhail has already done some night vision stuff in
Yep.
the game. It's very rudimentary, but it does exist. I think that was what he wanted to work on for his hack week. So that's a possibility that we could have some night vision stuff in there. We added flares and things like that to really help people brighten up the night.
Yep.
I remember, you got to remember back in the day we didn't have any of that, and it was really dark, and so you couldn't do anything.
Oh, speaking of flares, last night me and Team Attack found that cave and threw some flares in there.
That
it looks,
cave?
The
That
cave.
cave.
It looks.
There's like 6 caves.
Is
there.
there really 6 caves?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We found that cave.
I found 1 cave. There's 6 caves. Are you serious?
Tony doesn't play our game,
I
obviously.
do play our game. I just can't find the caves. I'm horrible at finding caves. I play the game a lot.
Do you even Firefall, bro?
How dare you? I'm walking out.
Speaking of that, I think now we're going to go ahead and move on. And I think it's time for...
Do you even art? Bro?
Oh yes, we got a sweet graphic. That was
We spent our entire
amazing.
budget on
Yeah.
that graphic right
I
there.
love
so
it.
That's it. That's it. That's all we got for the rest of the year. That graphic.
Brandon worked
man.
on that for us. It's amazing work. Thank you very much, Brandon.
Yes, thank you. You did that in like
He
an
did it, like, right
afternoon.
away.
It
Yeah,
would have
it's
taken
just
me
like-
a year. It was really cool to help make that. So that was fun. Frank had the idea. I threw down a voiceover, and Matt said that's okay. So it was
Delegation.
That was
I
it. Too. It was just like,
delegated. I
that's
delegated.
okay.
That's okay.
That's pretty much what it was. Like,
sure.
whatever.
All right, so on to the competition. Do you even Art Pro? So to catch you guys up, if you've missed any episodes, this was our first winner of January. This is Vitriolix Battle Frame. I had
Assault's OP and even fan art. Always winning.
That's so messed up. We talked about it a lot. I had a moment with the skin color of this assault.
Let's not go back to the coconut oil and let's move on.
Moving on. The very next one is Terracon's Attack. Yep, we all really
Train
like
sub
this
turned
one.
into a flying ship and is attacking a chosen base.
Yes.
A sad
and then I
chosen
mistakenly said
base.
that was an airship, but no, it's not.
Yeah.
I got yelled at afterwards.
Thanks, Frank, for ruining childhoods.
Wow.
Sorry, everyone.
So those were the
I blame
first
Bobby.
two winners of the competition, and today we're going to find the third winner of the Do You Even Art Bro competition, and then later today I will be posting a forum post with the vote, so the entire community can vote on the 3 art submissions for the winner of January.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so our first submission is actually a little different. It's a song from Draps. It's called The Arclight, and we're gonna check that out right now. Go for it.
Sweet.
This is a core to control. We are prepped for space fold. Initiate on Admiral's mark. Initiating space fold on Admiral Nostromo's mark.
DJ now? You on the ones and twos?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So
Okay, you guys want to see that later? Tony will post it later.
yeah,
we'll
I'll
post it
post
later.
the whole song.
As Frank, by the way, we can't hear the song.
Can't
so
hear it.
Frank's sitting there
I heard
like,
the
oh
song.
yeah.
I love this song.
Oh yeah.
I heard
You-
it. And
you can't.
It
It is
stuck
a really
in my head.
It is a really fun song to
No,
play
it's fun to
Firefall
listen to. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you did a really good job. With that.
Yeah, it's very catchy. It's got it's got some great beats to it.
Yeah. Yep.
So no, I love
I'm
when
a
people
fan of
make,
dubstep.
make
That's
music.
great.
That's not really dubstep.
No, that wasn't
Well,
that.
it's like house or drum and bass or shit.
I would've-
I'm
yeah,
sure
I
the
would've liked it
techno
better
guys
if we
out
put
there
some
will be
drops
like,
in
no,
there.
sorry, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's trance with a house twist, and I don't know,
Whatever.
Yeah.
whatever it is.
I don't know. I'm not good at that stuff. I like
No,
that
there's no
type
drops.
of music.
There's no drops.
Okay, so there's no drops. The next art piece that we have is from Nikora, and it's called Combats. I really like this one. It's kind of simple. It's colorful.
It reminds me of Corel Draw.
So what?
Corel Draw.
Corel
Back in
Draw.
the day, we'd make vector art out of Corel Draw, just using simple shapes and everything.
It's
Okay.
neat.
Before like Photoshop was
Yeah.
wares by everyone.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it because it I don't know. I don't know really. It's just
It's cool.
It's different, and I love the different colors of the Urana. I really like this. This is actually my desktop background right now.
You're on
at
party size. There's an assault there.
Okay, so Frank, yeah, you like it?
I think it's neat.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Sweet. All right. Moving on to our next artwork is from Alicia Blake. And Alicia, this is a good time to mention this for everybody. If you don't send what your artwork is called in
Maybe
the
that isn't
email,
what it's called though.
I just labeled this cute. I just named your artwork cute. So because I thought it was cute. That
Don't let him name your artwork, folks. Name your own artwork. Rembrandt wouldn't let him name his artwork. You don't want to be less than Rembrandt.
Mountain.
The Scream.
The Scream.
Nighttime.
That's pretty cool though.
So
I
yeah,
like the
what do you
brain
guys
bucket.
think?
I like the brain bucket. That's the first art we've seen with the brain bucket.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah, definitely.
We had a nice conversation.
No, we're
Yeah,
not going into
we're
that.
not going into that.
Oh no.
The little wave.
Talking about the 2-finger point.
No, stop it right there.
That,
Stop. Stop.
Let's just say we got a little weird yesterday in the
a
rehearsal.
little weird.
Gabe almost died.
Our sound engineer, literally almost died. It was
Literally
NSFW. Okay, so our last artwork submission is from Legend57. This is his battle frame.
Another
It's his
dread.
battle frame?
Well, I mean, it's not his. I mean, he drew it. Yeah.
It could
Did
be
you
him in
name
a
it?
battle frame.
I just named it
You know what it looks
frame.
like?
Frame.
Frame.
This is why you don't let him name things.
Don't
folks.
let me
I
name
mean,
things.
you could have at least named it Dread.
Dread? I named it frame, Frank.
It's got an HMG. He's obviously a dreadnought. Look at the backpack.
Okay, well, next time I'll name it Dread because I named it frame. What do you guys think?
It's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like the colors.
It's I mean, it keeps in line. Like he's very consistent with his artwork. It keeps in line with all his stuff. So it's pretty cool.
All right, so now it's time to vote for our favorite of this week, which will send them into the finals against Terracon and Vitriolic. So
Vitriolic.
my vote this time is going to go to. It's a close between the song. I love the song Draps, and I really love the attack from or combat from Nikora. I'm going with combat from Nikora.
Wow.
I love
All
it.
right.
I don't know. I really like the song. I really, really like the song. But I have to go with the combat. Something about this calls to me from childhood. I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You're apologizing for having an opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Apparently I have to now.
Wow.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to go with Arclight. I was jamming to the song.
The song.
Yeah.
Draps the song.
Draft the song.
Yeah.
I have to go with Arclight.
I'm not mad at you.
You're not mad at me?
I'm not mad
Cool.
at you.
You're not
So we're
mad?
still cool.
That's what the cool kids say. I'm mad at you.
I ain't even mad, bro.
It's like I have a difference of
I ain't
opinion,
even
but
mad.
I can see where you're coming from. That's what that means.
Is that what that means?
Yep.
I ain't even mad.
So amorphous today.
wow.
I can't believe
That
you brought
just
that back up.
happened.
They don't even know about that.
No, they don't, but I like the inside joke.
Oh, okay.
It's like rhombus.
Yeah.
No
Well,
idea what the word means,
yeah.
so you just use it.
I just use
I still don't
things.
even know how you don't know what rhombus means.
I know what a rhombus means. Okay, in comedy, you have to just call things out really quickly. And I was going through my Rolodex of shapes, and I went,
And evidently,
here's
you don't know what
rhombus.
the shape of a rhombus is.
Anyways, I think I'm going to have to pick as a tiebreaker Arclight by Draps.
Ooh, Arclight
Arclight
by
by
Draps.
I listened
All
to the
right.
whole song. I really, enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
didn't feel like turning it off early, which is a big thing for me with songs. If I'm not like, yeah, that's okay, bye, then it's a good. So I listened to the whole thing. I thought it was good, and I know the work that goes into that. So I'm gonna
definitely.
have to say Arclight by Draps.
All right.
That's pretty sweet.
All right.
Smooth.
No-
And that's
Again, I ain't mad at you. So, Draps.
I ain't even mad, bro.
Draps, your song is going to go up against Terracon and Vitriolic's artwork. That'll go up today.
Oh, that's
I'm
that's not even,
stifling a burp. A second one.
And
Keep the trend going. Let's go.
And moving on. So today you will that will get posted on the forums. Everyone, please go and vote for your favorite between Draps, Vitriolic, or Terracons.
I think Draps' entry is the first non-image entry that actually made it to the
To
finals.
the finals.
That's true. That's
As if we've done this for like years.
Well, I mean, out of
We had one month
seven,
before.
out of like seven
This
things.
is the first
so-
one of its kind. So I'll also let's just plug this real quick. If you
just read party size comment.
Yeah, I know, me too. Plot twist: the song was about an assault. Assaults win. They're so OP. They
so
win
OP.
everything.
If
that
you have
splash.
an artwork submission that you want to submit, obviously you can submit anything.
It's
It doesn't
game.
have to be drawn. It can be anything: a video, a song,
A dance.
a dance, a sewing thing, anything that you
I'll
can
guarantee
think
you,
of.
if you film yourself dancing and post it on YouTube, I'll vote for you.
I clearly
Yeah,
it will,
that's pretty much gonna be a winner.
it will be up on the
T2.
stream at the very least. So anyway, submit those to community@red5studios.com, and I'll be in touch with you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys. That's it for Firefall Live. We're open beta weekend, public beta weekend. Sorry, we're not open beta. So be sure to download the game, play it, let us know what you think. That's going to be happening until Sunday night at midnight.
Yep.
And don't forget that in about an hour from now, we will be live with Athene on our stream and on his.
Woo!
So be sure to check both those out. Thanks a lot, guys.